So the internet was just happening. It was the mid-90s, and Todd Wagner and I, somebody I knew from IU, were living in Dallas. And to listen to an IU basketball game, we literally would call somebody in Bloomington who would put a speakerphone next to a radio. And then we'd have a speakerphone down here, which could be expensive with long distance back then. And then we'd have a 6-pack or 12-pack of beer, and we listened to Don Fisher call the IU games, and that was the way to do it. And the internet came along, and I was a tech guy, and I was like, there's got to be a better way. And so that led to us starting a company called Wntt, which literally led to starting the whole streaming on the internet thing. We used to call it internet broadcasting back then, and then netcasting, and then streaming, and that's how the whole thing got started because of IU basketball.
Did Bob Knight, I don't know how close you were to him, but didn't he say something on a 60 Minutes piece that was very meaningful to you?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I'll never forget, I was back in Bloomington in my dorm room, and the whole campus came to a stop, because Bob Knight was going to be on 60 Minutes.
You have to have a will to prepare to win. Not a will to win, because everybody's got that. It's the will to prepare to win.
And that just really resonated with me, and it really has paid off a ton of dividends for me because, you can outwork your competition, you can outwork other people in the office, you can outwork other entrepreneurs, but you have to be that type of person that's willing to grind it out, and that's the type of person I've always been.
What do you think of the landscape of college basketball now? What do you like about the college game?
So I love the game, but in terms of one and done becoming none and done at some point, the NBA owner in me says the longer kids stay in college, the better and easier it is for me because I don't have to teach life skills. I don't have to teach them how to open up a checking account or teach them how to sign a lease or, what to do to get a car. Those are just different life skills that you might not pick up as a freshman or, coming out of high school, but you would as a junior in college.
I think you're on record as saying very clearly the NCAA should cease to exist.
Yeah, there's no good reason for it.
What would be your solution then? Who would run the tournament?
I'll tell you a conversation I had. It's been probably 10 years before the playoff system, however long that's been around, that a group of us were talking about putting together some money to go in and buy out Big Ten basketball and just say, you know what, we'll create a company. Literally a company where we'll still affiliate with the university, we'll still sell TV and other media rights and everything, but we'll manage it ourselves. And we won't have the same archaic rules that the NCAA has. Players will still need to go to school, we'll put in real restrictions there, and we'll just bring some common sense. From a businessman's perspective, from an entrepreneur's perspective, when I see something that's been done the exact same way forever and ever and ever, and there's been all this bureaucratic layers added on, there's a 99.99% chance that it's being done the wrong way. And I don't think anybody would deny that. No one's standing up saying the NCAA is a perfect organization or even a good organization or the optimal or even close to being optimal scenario. And so I think, with a little bit of entrepreneurial juice, some smart men and women can come up with something better.
The NBA is in great hands with Adam Silver, but how did the loss of David Stern affect you?
Yeah, it was hard. It was really, really hard. I love David. Like he would always tell me, he made me.
He would say that.
Yeah, and he did, and he truly did.
How? Why?
Because, until we started fighting and I started, I was the guy getting fined all the time and fighting the man in power, and he would enable me to do it more and more and more. He knew exactly what he was doing, and that's what gave me the visibility. That's what got me media attention, and that's how people know my name. But despite all that, we were friends. And one of the things in my tenure here at the Mavs that I'm most proud of is that there's a picture of me hugging David, and they told me that he had it on his desk. And yeah, that meant a lot because I've got the same picture. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the new CBA contract in the WNBA? Do you see it as some kind of health in the league or an illusion?
I've sat and talked to a variety of people involved with the WNBA on the player side, on their union side, And like anything else, like any business, if the WNBA came on Shark Tank, I'd tell them they have to increase their revenues. And that's the challenge. Now, I don't own a WNBA team, so I don't know all the economics of the team, but just, common sense. But what I did see about it that I did like is that they're starting to take more chances. The WNBA, like the NBA, is a global game. Women's basketball is a global game. And I think that's a unique opportunity. But I really think, and we should do it with the NBA and the WNBA combined, we should dominate all tournaments, right? The world, when you look at soccer, it's not the Olympics that are the primary big event, it's the World Cup, right? Yet we give our best players on both sides, women and men, to the Olympics, and that's it's nonprofit, but effectively it's a for-profit organization with multi-billion-dollar advertising and TV rights. It's crazy for us to give, our best players to help line other people's pockets. We should be creating our own World Cup that we own, that we sell the TV rights to. We have to do those types of things, which then, now that the women are getting 50% of the revenue, like the men effectively do, that's how you raise the pot, and that's how you increase the pot for everybody.
In a restaurant, what percentage of people ask you about the Mavericks, and what percentage ask about Shark Tank?
Well, it depends on the Mavericks record. So right now, a lot, right? Yeah. So in Dallas, everybody's asking me about Luka and the Mavs. The last 3 years, not so much. But I would say typically it's 75% Shark Tank, 25% Mavericks. But because of Luka, the Mavericks side's going up.